Welcome back to The Cure for Cowardice. Today I wanted to talk about celebrating the small wins and recognizing progress being made. So, as I've mentioned, I was a daily smoker. Smoked before, during, after activities. And to say I was addicted to weed would be a massive understatement. But today, a very good friend of mine who did not know that I had stopped smoking offered me to hit his weed pen. And without even thinking about it, without really even having much emotion or feeling towards it in general, I told him, I'm okay. I'm not smoking for a bit. Thank you, though. And then I started thinking about it. And times in the past where I have tried to take, tea breaks and been like, okay, I'm going to go this many days, or I'm not going to smoke until this happens. When I've been in that same exact situation, it takes significant discipline and willpower for me to say no. But this time, it was automatic. I didn't even have to think about it. And sure, it hasn't been that long. I don't know how long it's been, maybe a week or so. But it felt different. And I think it's because every day I am embodying more and more of the person who I want to be right now, which is somebody that doesn't have urges to smoke, because I understand that it's not going to help me towards the goals that I have at this moment. And it was just kind of crazy to me seeing that I could have such an automatic reaction with so little effort to something that I've struggled with so much in the past. And so that would be a win today. Another win is I had my alarm set for 7 a.m. because I had to take my buddy to work. And I woke up at 6:30 from a dream and saw that it was 6:30, went to the bathroom, and pretty much, oh shit, hold that thought, I'm trying to park. Sorry, 1 second. You guys are along for this ride. Alright. Mission accomplished. So, I saw that I had to get up in half an hour, and I had about 20 minutes left by the time I got back from the bathroom before my alarm was going to go off. Now, one of the things that I'm working on is not snoozing my alarm, but in this case, my alarm hadn't gone off yet. And so I thought about it, and I decided to lay back down for those last 20 minutes. And I fell asleep, and then had my little mini dream, and then woke up again when the alarm went off, and I was more tired than I was the first time I woke up before my alarm. And in the past, what I would do is go back to sleep. I would snooze my alarm. And this time, I just got up and started walking around. and started my day. And again, small win. So not only that, but I wanted to get some quotes submitted for my main job. And I set aside a certain amount of time that I thought it was going to take me to do that. Turns out I was exactly right. I had 7 quotes to submit, and it took me about an hour and a half working slowly and with a couple bathroom breaks. So I get them all submitted, and then I wanted to get some posts scheduled for social media, because I'm using social media to try and get more business for my main job. So I wanted to get 10 posts scheduled, and I allotted a certain amount of time to do that. So I sit down to start getting them scheduled, to start writing up these posts and coming up with them. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe I should try and figure out the best possible way to do this. So then I search how to do the best post for this social media for this type of deal. And found some videos. Started watching videos. Got distracted. Watched a couple others. And I finally landed on one where I was like, this is going to be a really good video where I'm going to learn a lot. And then after this, I'm going to be ready. And it was an interview with somebody who was very, very good at the type of social media that I was looking to do. And the interview was an hour and a half long. And I got like 5 minutes into it, and I thought to myself, what would the version of myself that I am trying to embody do in this situation? Now, at this point, I've already wasted like probably half an hour towards this allotted time that I had set to make these posts. And without even really thinking about it, I just opened a new tab, and I pulled up the social media, and I pulled up ChatGPT to get the juices flowing for what I was going to post. So I started posting, and lo and behold, I gave myself like an hour, I think, to make these posts. It ended up taking way longer than that. But those posts are good. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're probably, for what I am capable of at this moment, I would say they're a solid 7 or 8 out of 10 compared to the 3 or 4 that it would have been had I put a lot less effort in. And so I am happy with those posts. It took me longer than I thought it was going to. And multiple times while I was making these posts and coming up with the ideas for them and writing them out, editing them, reformatting, I thought to myself, oh, there's this other thing that I was supposed to be doing in this time slot, because now the time slot for making these posts has passed. Now it's cutting into this other time. Maybe I should just stop where I'm at and go start doing the other thing. And I thought, you know what? No. I said I was going to do this, and I'm going to do it. And you know what? It took me, like I said, multiple hours to get those posts out. But I did, and I'm happy with them. And matter of fact, I have one more that I need to do when I get back in order to hit the number that I was looking for. But I'm going to do that as soon as I get home. And then that'll be that. And so, not quitting while I was in the middle of the task, I think led to some of the higher quality work. And I pushed past those initial barriers of distraction, perfectionism, excuses, trying to trade for another obligation which was not as important but was still on the schedule. And so, again, celebrating small wins. I think it's important to recognize the progress that we make, because when you have a really big goal, it's kind of hard to maintain optimism when day in and day out all you see is that you're not where you want to be yet. And so breaking it down, chunking down into the smaller steps that are going to eventually lead to what you're trying to do, and then doing those and giving yourself a pat on the back when you do those things, I think is a much more sustainable way to do it. Because that way, you get the boosts of confidence because you see that you're making progress. You get the momentum going. But at the same time, if tomorrow I sleep in past my alarms, I smoke weed, I drink, I do any of these other number of things that I'm trying to not do, then I will know that even though I'm still on the same path and I'm still going towards the same big goal, that would have been an L. And I would have had to accept that as a failure for that day. So, the fact that these small wins happen, I think, is one of the most surefire ways to keep your mindset right day in and day out. Because, I mean, we're complicated, but at the same time, in some ways, we're pretty simple creatures, and we need reinforcement, whether it's from our environments or from ourselves. And so, finding that thing to reinforce, finding the behaviors that are going to lead eventually to the thing that you're trying to do, is a good way to give yourself that daily goals, targets, things to hit, those actions that will lead to it, as well as when you do complete them, give yourself the kudos, the pat on the back, the reinforcement for still continuing along that path, even though you're not there yet. So, I'm getting kind of long-winded. That's more or less the point I wanted to make in this video. Celebrate the small wins. And then when the big win comes, you can celebrate that too. And the other thing is, have confidence in yourself. And I don't mean delusion, but if you had a good day yesterday and a good day the day before, and when I say good, I mean by the standards of you did the actions that you set out that are going to lead you towards this, there's no reason to think that today is going to be any different, or tomorrow. And if you go into every day with the mindset of, I gotta not lose my progress, it's coming from a scarcity mindset. And it makes it that much more likely to do it. And if you come into the day thinking, man, I did good yesterday, it feels good to do good, and I want to continue that, I'm going to try my best today, it's coming at it from a much more abundant mindset. So, anyway, I think I made my point. I'll catch you all on the flip side.